Taking a live look outside this morning over Horsetooth Reservoir. Beautiful start to the day out there. Hopefully your weekend is off to a great start. Those temperatures, however, are already climbing, and they will only continue to climb throughout this afternoon. Good morning, I'm Evan Krugel. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's get a quick check of your forecast with meteorologist Jaden Knowles. Jaden, brief rain last night, that has now moved out, and those skyrocketing temperatures quickly moving in.
You know the reason why we're seeing these hot temperatures?
Tell me.
Because you said that you missed the heat. I mean, we had a little bit of.
Never said
Hey,
that.
blame Evan. Go ahead and email him because we had a little bit of relief the last couple of days. But today we are forecasting the triple digits. Can you believe it? Because of that strong high pressure system and, of course, because of Evan. But overall, looking at your current temperatures heading out the door right now, temperatures already in the low 70s in some spots. Look at the airport, 77 degrees, and your time is 8 o'clock. That shows you how hot it's going to be. That's the main reason for the weather impact alerts for this afternoon, as well as on Sunday because of that heat advisory. That will begin in just 8, 9, 10, 3 hours, 11 a.m. this morning, and that will continue till 9 p.m. this evening. So here's temperatures statewide so far. The upper 70s for the eastern plains. Look at Lamar. You're already at 81 degrees. Grand Junction, you're at 80 degrees currently, and we're still warming up. We're just getting started. So live radar, we are nice and dry, but we do have some rain in the forecast, mainly for the high country and also south of Denver, talking about Douglas and Elbert counties, maybe even down towards Colorado Springs. But for the most part, forecast is calling for triple digits. 100 degrees is what I'm forecasting. That record is actually 99, set back in 1963. So later on in the show, we'll time out the rain chances and tell you who exactly will get lucky enough to see the rain, and also tell you how hot it's going to be in my full forecast. Evan?
All right, Jaden, thank you. A fourth firefighter has passed away following the Knowles fire in western Colorado. Nathan Matthews was one of 5 firefighters involved in a burnover on June 27th while engaged in initial attack operations on the Knowles fire. 3 other firefighters, Emily Barker, Nick Hutcherson, and Sydney Watson, all died at the scene. Information for a memorial service for Matthews will be released at a later date. He was 43 years old. This year, wildfires in Colorado have now burned more than 260,000 acres. That's about 410 square miles, more than twice the size of Denver. The major concern, of course, is that we are only in late July, and we've already surpassed the state's average annual burn acre of 237,000 acres. Now, the fires, including 2 of the largest in state history, have already destroyed hundreds of properties. The largest fire in the state continues to be the Aspen Acres fire in southern Colorado. While rain has fallen on that fire this week, containment has held steady for the past couple of days at 61%. This fire has burned over 100,000 acres, or nearly 160 square miles. It started about a month ago on June 29th, and since then, the town of Rye had to be evacuated. People just got their first look at the town from the ground after being forced out of their community for nearly a month.
There's 255 homes out there been burned out. I'm blessed. They've been burnt out, I haven't been.
Mike Moody was one of the lucky ones. His house was spared. He says he did return home, however, to an unwanted guest, but he still has quite a sense of humor about it.
I had a bear in my living room. He and I were friends. I mean, I was me to you away from him, but I scared him.
In all, sheriffs say more than 850 buildings were destroyed across Pueblo and Custer counties. More than 300 homes have also been lost. The fires burning across Colorado right now could cost at least $250 million in taxpayer money. That estimate came during a meeting of the state's drought task force this week. There are currently 13 large fires burning across the state. Hundreds of fire crews, dozens of bulldozers, and dozens of aircraft have responded, and those costs are mounting. Emergency officials say the current 90-day cost projection for fire response and recovery is about $266 million. That's just for the 4 largest fires burning right now.
The financial impacts on things that cascade from drought impacts and so forth are tremendous. And in light of cutting $2.5 billion out of the state's budget over the past 15 or 18 months, that's a very notable number.
Fire officials are optimistic about the progress that's been made this week, but they're cautious given that a majority of the state is still under some kind of drought. The Boulder County Sheriff's Office was called to Beaver Reservoir yesterday after a man was found injured and unconscious in a camper. At first, it looked like a bear attack because there were signs that a bear had been there. But we now know that was not the case. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj has more on what ultimately was a wild coincidence.
We haven't had a real problem with them, but this year they've definitely been active.
Mark Zen has been coming out here since he was a teenager. Bears come with the territory.
It was shoulder height. It was about to here. I would guess 300 or 400 pounds, all black, lots of teeth.
On Friday evening, while Colorado Parks and Wildlife was investigating another incident, he says he and his dog Tinkerbell came face to face with a black bear outside their camper.
Forgot I had my dog whistle. Could have used that, but forgot.
Here at Beaver Reservoir, the Boulder County Sheriff's Office and CPW were responding to a reported bear attack earlier in the day after a man was found injured and unconscious.
We have determined that this is not a bear attack. The bear did not make any physical contact with the man. His injuries are consistent with previous medical conditions that he was dealing with.
But there was evidence that a bear had been inside the house while the man was home.
We found evidence of bears from paw prints on the doors. The part of the door was off the hinge.
Caravan Hoos with CPW says there's been a lot of bear activity recently.
It's the worst in years, probably since 2015, which is the other drought year that we experienced.
Their natural food source is berries and cherries, and thanks to the weather, there's not much of either.
She's been through all sorts of testing, training, and so on. So I trust her with my life, and she trusts me with hers.
In the end, it was Tinkerbell who saved the day, her bark managing to scare the bear away.
She's absolutely my hero.
CPW is still searching for that bear using scent hounds. They say it will be euthanized when they find it because it no longer fears humans and is now a public safety threat. As for the man who was injured, he was airlifted to the hospital for treatment. CPW says the drought in Colorado has pushed bears closer to urban areas as they search for food. According to our reporting partners at the Denver Gazette, Douglas County's 4th bear death of the month happened on Wednesday after a car hit a bear in Lone Tree. CPW says Douglas County alone has seen 191 bear reports since January. That's a significant increase from just 75 reports made within the same time frame last year. Though there have been no attacks on humans, chances of property damage and crashes have both increased. As always, the best way to keep bears away is to lock up trash and anything else they might find delicious, like bird feeders.